What is up, guys? Zane from the Madden YouTube channel. In today's video, we're going to show you guys how to pick up the manual rush out of the 3-3-5 wide from under center passing schemes. But before we get into the video, please do me a favor. Hit that subscribe button. Also, make sure you guys take the time to hit that notification bell so you don't miss any of the uploads coming your way here on the Zane Madden YouTube channel. If you guys want to take your game to the next level in Madden 21, check out my strategy site, gridirongameplans.gg. Gridiron Game Plans is your one-stop source for all things competitive Madden. Every week in our Vault update, we take a look at the meta, or the most effective tactics available being used by pro players on the MCS circuit, breaking down not only how and why the pros do what they do, but most importantly, how you can counter those metas when you face them in online gameplay. On top of that, your subscription also includes every single offensive and defensive game plan released on the website while your subscription is active. So head over to gridirongameplans.gg. $9.95 per month unlocks the entire website. Okay, guys, without further ado, let's get into today's video. We're going to be talking about how to pick up the nickel 3-3-5 wide manual rush. As you guys know, this is the most popular defense in the game. If you guys play online 10 games, you're going to face this 10 times. It's that popular. People that will come out running the 4-6 defensive playbook, they're going to come out in the nickel normal with safeties at all three linebacker spots, and then they're going to audible into the 3-3-5 wide so that way they can have those safeties at linebacker. Now, that particular step in terms of today's video is not really that important. We're going to focus primarily on how to stop the manual rush. As you guys know, when you're in shotgun, so many players are running the 3-3-5 wide because when you shift the line to the left or the right and then pinch your linebackers, it dumbs out the center and allows you to shoot the gap right through the middle versus pretty much every run scheme in the game. It's a real pain. Honestly, I'm shocked EA hasn't fixed this over the last 2 years. It was a meta late last year and they just carried it forward straight into Madden 21 and have been completely ignoring the fact that it's completely shut down the run game from the majority of the offensive formations in the game. Makes the game really boring. So in an effort to try to spice up the game a little bit for you guys, I'm going to try to bring back under center passing a little bit by showing you guys how to pick up the manual rush, because what a lot of players are going to do when you go into an under center set is they're just going to fly in right through the middle. They're going to basically send 6. They're going to put their user into a hook assignment. They're going to stand right here and they're going to let that center turn and try to double team on the guy that is the nose tackle. They're either going to shift the defensive line to the left or the right, and the center should open up that direction. And what ends up happening is you could just fly right through and get a sack. We've all been there. It's a real pain. Now, the problem is when we block our running back, that really doesn't do anything in terms of helping, because what happens is the way that this works is the running back is responsible for the 6 rushers. So the offensive line is still blocking this guy, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. This is 6. So the running back is responsible for the 6th guy. And what ends up happening is you can fly right through and still get those reach sacks right through the running back. So it really doesn't do anything to help you. And some players are honestly really savvy at like swerving the running back too. You'll see a lot of times you can block the running back and then they'll fly in and then they'll just kind of like wiggle around him like that to be able to pick, get to the quarterback and pick up a free sack. So what we're going to talk about here today is how to alleviate that. So as I mentioned, the most important step in the nickel 3-3-5, whether it be the Mike Blitz 3 or the Mike Blitz 0 meta, is to slide your defensive line to the left or the right. So we started off sliding to the left, and then what they do is they pinch their linebackers. Most players will also press regardless of the coverage. If it's man, they shade over the top. Typically this is the way players are going to play against this. And then they kind of crash the line up because they want the center to really open up the middle, allowing you to fly right in. So again, it kind of looks like this. Now, the way that we have to think about picking this up is that we have to make it so that the offensive line is picking up the user rusher and the running back now has a different assignment. So the way that I pick this up in under center sets is I will block the running back and I will slide protect towards the defensive tackle. So if they shift their line to the left, the defensive tackle is standing over the left guard. If they shift their defensive line all the way to the right, he's over the right guard. I will slide my protection in the direction of the defensive line shift. And what this basically does is I hit left bumper or L1 on PlayStation. You're going to flick the right stick to the left or to the side that the D tackle goes to. What this does is it tells the offensive line who the 5 players they want to pick up are. So now the 5 players that they want to pick up are going to be 1, 2, 3. The user rusher is 4, and JJ Watt is 5. The 6th player is the extra rusher opposite of the slide protection. That is the player that the running back looks to play. Now, when this happens, we snap the ball, you've got an offensive lineman there, and this is going to allow you to deliver your throw. Now, there is one small caveat, and I'm going to get to that here in a second, but I want to show that this works on the other side as well. So let's say that we run this, lines pinched. Let's flip our nickel corner. That wouldn't make sense if we did it this way. Lines pinched, so are the linebackers. I'm sorry, the linebackers are pinched and the line is shifted to the right this time. So now we would kind of mirror what we are doing with this, where if they go to the right, we slide protect to the right and block the running back. Now the protection is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to the right, 6 to the left, and the running back should be looking for him off the edge. So now what ends up happening is it picks it up accordingly, and JJ Watt still shed right there, but we were able to pick up the manual rush. So you take a look here how this kind of works. The slide protection takes away the user rusher. The running back will cut the legs of the extra rusher off the backside. Now, this is nice because if you think about it, you could actually put an escape artist right here and kind of design some rollouts against this. If they want to do this little meta, you could go ahead and once this cut block happens, hit that escape artist and boot out to the left, or escape artist if it's the opposite direction to the right, and look for some rollout type passes. But in terms of giving yourself a pocket, if there's no shed like you see right here from JJ Watt, we're fine to make our read, drag, dig, various routes that you might throw on this play. So now there is one very, very small caveat that you need to be aware of with this particular defense, and that is that some players will end up doing something like this, where when they set this up, they are going to take their user, and rather than kind of standing over here and shooting into this gap, which is fine, or here and shooting straight through the middle, which is fine, they're actually going to load up on the side that we're slide protecting to. And this actually creates problems. And what ends up happening is when we go to do this slide protection and shift to the block the running back and slide protect to the right, for some reason, if the player is stacked on the D tackle side, like outside of his hip, it invites this player off the edge still, which is very, very odd. So you're gonna see here, it kind of does some weird stuff. Now right there, it actually looked okay, and I'm just gonna throw that ball up, it doesn't matter. But there will be times in which that player comes in free. And I want you to be aware that that is something that is a possibility when you run this. So if you notice that players are doing like a setup like this, and for some reason the running back and slide protect left is causing still Merciless to come in, you're gonna have to block a tight end. This doesn't happen all the time, but it will occasionally happen. Now, of course, like I mentioned, sheds also occur. That is something that still does happen in this game. You saw right here in this scenario, we got through because of some pass off logic. The offensive line was protecting the correct way. In terms of your pocket, the edges are pretty well picked up here. Unfortunately, they didn't negotiate this pass off very well, and it caused those two guys to come in free. That's a rarity, but it can still occur. I want you guys to just be aware that there are times in which basically the outside linebacker on the side in which you slide protect to sometimes still comes in. Like you kind of see, like it looks like they're really trying to loop off of that edge. If you're worried about that, just go ahead and block your tight end. You can still put him on like a delay route or something like that. This is especially useful. It won't be nearly as useful if you're playing with Phillip Rivers, because you're not gonna be able to roll out nearly as well. But let's say for whatever reason, they're kind of lined up over here like this, and they're wanting to use a rush through the middle. You can still kind of go block the running back, slide protect to the left. And if you're worried about, even with this gap shoot, that this guy's still coming free, go ahead and take your tight end and put him on like a delay fade. And again, Rivers is going to do a terrible job of illustrating this. So, but what you end up doing is, you're going to be able to pick up the pressure. And then when you roll out, obviously, you know how the player chases the quarterback. And then you can release that tight end late in the play. So that gives you a little bit of a protection right there. You can kind of see right here that this guy, when it's a zero blitz, is manned up on the tight end. He's kind of waiting for him to run a route. And then when I start to scramble with Rivers, you notice that as I get out wide, Crossan decides that he's going to go chase the quarterback, which, obviously if I have an escape artist and I can run away from these guys, which Rivers is far from that, now all of a sudden you're in a spot where you can tell your tight end, who's now here, you tap his button and he'll release down the middle of the field to be able to essentially be wide open against a zero blitz. So, you know, this is just a little subtle tip that I use. This is actually the blocking foundation for most under center sets in the game. Let me go ahead and show you what I mean. If I were to go into like a single back doubles, this is going to make doubles a little bit more viable. And now the thing about under center sets is that the real drawback is the user rush through the middle, which I'm showing you how to counter here. The run game under center, in my opinion, is better against 3-3-5 wide than shotgun runs. The problem with shotgun runs is that inside zone, power O, trap, buck sweep, all those shotgun runs that players will run basically have a situation where the center always leaves you out to dry. When you're under center, you have the potential of dive as a scheme, zone weak as a scheme, which you typically don't get out of shotgun. You get more of an inside zone. You get options like, for instance, the stretch, the outside zone, which can be a little bit tougher to gap shoot. Under center run game is way better against 3-3-5 than shotgun. But let's go ahead and just kind of round this out here with like a single back doubles, for instance, here. So we call the play Z spot. Now in this situation, you know, you could go either direction. You could, you know, shift your line left or right, pinch your linebackers, you know, crash up. Now we're gonna stand right here. So again, in this spot, D tackle to the left, block the running back, slide protect to the left. Now we don't have a tight end over there on the left, so it does remain a chance that that guy could come in free. Sometimes that will happen. But you see right here, it's picked up beautifully. We throw our snag route over the middle. We're able to pick up a solid gain. So if they mirror this setup and they go to the other direction, let's go shift over to the right, pinch our linebackers. Let's go ahead and crash our line, put our guy into a zone assignment to user blitz from. We're now going to block our running back and slide protect to the right, the direction of the D tackle. Now when we snap this ball, we're trying to fly in, snag route, open, first down. Pretty simple. So that is today's video, guys. If you guys enjoyed this, please give it a thumbs up. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, or complaints, please feel free to drop those below as well. Make sure you guys subscribe here to the YouTube channel. Trying to upload 5 times a week, Monday through Friday for you guys. And definitely check out gridirongameplans.gg. This was something that was on the website in my San Francisco Ace and my Pittsburgh single back wing stack offenses early on in the year. So definitely go check it out. Hopefully we'll see you guys over there on the website. If not, we'll see you guys right back here with our next video upload. Until tomorrow, this is Zan. Get the lab in. Good luck.